will rebuild!
What's up, guys? Hope you're having an absolutely spectacular day so far today. Now, if you remember from last episode, I ended day 6 at the beach when I broke 1 million total XP, which was a great milestone. But here I am starting day 7. I decided to finish capping at the beach first. 120,000 XP from this cap at the beach. It's just insane how much this is actually helping me. Moving on, I decided to kill some corpse archers in the catacombs. I got 40 attack, went on, I decided to go on to 40 strength, and after that I did a little bit of defense. I stopped at 33 though and decided to take a break because it was just becoming way too much combat training for me all at once. I went back to the beach after reset, another 148,000 cooking XP. It's just insane how much this is adding up. You can see I did a few Claudia runs. I got a snorkel token in my inventory. They're so cheap that it wasn't even really worth it to sell it, so I just unlocked it in case I would ever want to use it in the future. I don't really plan on it, but you know, one more thing done and sorted, I guess. After that, it was crafting training. First, I started with making some tiaras, then after that, I moved on to making some assorted emerald jewelry, and then I made a bunch of ruby necklaces. Those were actually really good because they gave a decent amount of XP, and they also were a little bit of profit, I think. After that, though, my fire making was looking pretty low, so I decided it was a good idea to get that up. I wound up stopping at level 50, which was a pretty good milestone stopping point in my opinion. I've been stopping a lot of skills at 50 recently. And after that, I went on to complete a few dungeons. I stopped at 48 dungeoneering and called it a solid end to day 7. Those are my gains. Kicking off day 8, I decided to do a bit of smithing. Now, the reason I'm doing iron plate bodies instead of artisans, even though I did some research and artisans would have cost me a little bit less, was because for the amount of experience I was actually going for, the monetary difference really would have been pretty negligible, and plate bodies are also a lot faster. But I hit 48 smithing, which was the milestone level I needed to be able to make a fractite two-handed sword in Daemonheim, which is the best melee tier I can get is fractite, which is level 40. So it was really great to get that done, get that bind, just so that way, if I ever do want to train any more dungeoneering through free-to-play, that I have the best possible weapon I can use. Went on to complete a couple dungeons, got level 50 dungeoneering, I got a defense level, nothing too major, but still making this progress where I can, which I really like. After that, I went on to complete the quests Let Them Eat Pie. No real major reward behind it, basically just trying to complete all of the free-to-play quests and get those quest points and everything so that way I can do Dragon Slayer later. And I went on to the Catacombs again, got level 40 defense, which is really cool. I like getting my attack and then strength and then defense up that way. I'm just trying to maximize my damage output while still keeping a relatively even spread of levels, you know, so it's not like I have 99 strength and 2 attack and I can't even hit anything. Also went on to complete Gunner's Ground, which was nice. I like the quest, but I still miss the Romeo and Juliet quest just for the sake of nostalgia. You know, that's one of the first quests you always do in free-to-play and everything, at least back in the day it was. So it was still good to get that done and out of the way. Went on to complete Demon Slayer after that, and I personally don't really like the remaked Demon Slayer quest either. I enjoyed the old one a lot more, even though this one might make more sense in terms of lore and everything and might set up a nice storyline. I think it's just the nostalgia for me. Immediately after that, I went on to complete Knight's Sword, then did Vampire Slayer, I did Pirate's Treasure, and I even did Ernest the Chicken. Now, the reason I'm getting all of these free-to-play quests done, even though they don't really have any sort of good reward, is number 1, for quest points, so I can do Dragon Slayer when it might actually benefit me, and number 2, just because I have this mindset of wanting to milk free-to-play for all that it's worth. That way, once I actually do become a member, I'm not doing anything that I could have been doing free-to-play anyway. Pretty typical. I went on to do a little bit more dungeoneering. I hit 52, and then I wound up getting my smithing up through dungeoneering, of course, so that way I was able to make myself a better plate body. I made myself fractite pickaxe and hatchet, added those to my tool belt. That way I have pretty much the best gear I could possibly have. I also have an air staff, which I believe I wound up upgrading to a better wand from a drop. At least I have that bound. I can't quite use it yet, but I do have that for when I actually get the level. And of course, I hit the beach after reset, another 161,000 cooking XP. It's just crazy how much the beach is boosting my total XP and boosting my cooking. I just can't complain. I can't. After that, I wanted to train some fishing, but I'm not really in a situation financially where I feel like it would make sense for me to start spending my money on urns, and yet I still want to be pretty efficient with my XP. So I decided to hit the crafting guild, make some urns. I hit level 50 crafting, which was really cool, and then I also had a bunch of urns that I could use while fishing. So then I hit Lumbridge and I was fly fishing trout and salmon. I wasn't dropping my fish yet. I'm not quite at that stage where I feel like it would make sense to drop all of my fish because I still think I could use some food for when I actually might need it for combat in the future. So I was banking it, but those earns are very helpful. I hit 55 fishing, great milestone. Decided to hit the catacombs and train my mage. I actually decided to finally man up and train here the way you're supposed to, which was actually like decimating everything, power killing to the max, not looting anything, which is difficult for me because I'm someone who really likes to pick up all of the loot, especially loot that stacks. But just it's insane how much XP you can actually get at such a low level place if you are power leveling as quickly as you can. It was crazy how much magic XP I got. I started around 33 and I wound up stopping at 43, it was just so quick. And then I decided to call it quits for day 8. Here are my gains, here's my total XP. It was just so much progress done on day 8. I loved it. Day 9, I decided to resume where I was in the catacombs. I got up to 45 magic, which was a really good milestone because that's when I unlock Chain, which is such a convenient ability for training here, and the fact that I can kill 3 roaches at once instead of needing to individually click all 3. Moved on, finally got up to 53. I decided at that point that I had just been here way too long and I needed a break, so that is what I gave myself. I went to the Grand Exchange. I decided to buy myself a Gilbert Fish pet token. It was just over 1 mil, and I told myself that, you know what, they might become discontinued. It's not really that expensive. I can handle spending 1 mil, and I don't regret it at all. It's pretty cool. I really like having this fish following me around. Decided to do some more fishing. I went from 55 to 60, which was fantastic. At this point, I am actually dropping my fish because I think I have enough in the bank to use, and it's so much faster. I don't want to keep banking. I want to be as efficient as I can and get these levels up. Decided to cook what food I had in the bank and got 69 cooking. Pretty cool milestone just in the fact that it's almost level 70. I'm actually getting these stats up so high in such a short amount of time. And again, I went on to make my own urns, this time cooking urns. Got a mining level, which was pretty cool. Nothing else too major. Small crafting level, just making these small gains and actually making them while still being really productive in the fact that these urns are going to help me a lot when I actually start cooking later. Now, although I'm almost entirely certain that fishing urns work on the beach, I very swiftly found out that cooking urns do not. That was a little disappointing, but that's alright. I will save these for later. Went on and got 70 cooking, and then pretty shortly after that got 71 cooking. Wound up finishing this day at the beach with 181,000 XP. It's just insane. I can't say it enough. I did a little bit of research and found out that a regular mind spike dropped from wolves or trolls is actually tier 5, while the tower mind spike from Rune Mysteries is tier 1. I don't really understand why the one from the quest is weaker, but I decided to get a range level while I am trying to get the better mind spike. I did wind up getting that. At that point, I decided to call it quits for day 9. Hope you guys are really enjoying these episodes. I know I really am enjoying all of this progress. Stay happy, everybody. Make sure you subscribe so you stay tuned for next episode where I will return and I will rebuild. I will return!